Tim, then Jimmy, then Vince.
Coach, you talked a little bit about your relationship with the Stoops family as a whole on Monday. Kentucky's been a job where it's been tough to win. Why has Mark Stoops had so much success there?
He's done a good job of building that program from the ground up. They play hard, they play smart, and they're a physical football team. You put those three things together, you got a chance to continue as a program. They've done that.
Josh, with Tillman being out, how valuable has Ramel Keaton been for your offense?
Yeah, it's been huge. From the first game that he stepped in, it hasn't been too big for him. He's operated and functioned at a really high level. He's made a bunch of plays. You can see the trust that Hendon has with him. It's important offensively that you have guys that you trust in all of those positions. Otherwise, they have the ability to key in, double, or roll coverage to somebody, and Ramel's play has been huge for us.
Josh, obviously, you have talked about leadership on this team, and it's been a big part of your success. Can you give us some specific examples of that leadership showing through, maybe even some things that we don't see?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many moments of that taking place. I think one of the biggest things is when you're on the practice field, and I just go back to our spring practice this year. The ability of, we were intentional in trying to give them opportunities, but at each position, a leader, having a minute or two in the middle of practice to regroup, refocus, and re-energize their position group. And you saw guys at every position do that consistently on a daily basis. It might be BY with the D-line, might be Jacob Warren with the tight ends. Obviously, Hendon has done a phenomenal job. The ownership that, guys at the DB position have had with the entire unit. You feel their energy, their focus, their purpose every day. If something hasn't been right, it hasn't always been a coach or me that's had to call the group up and get it right, man. They're taking ownership, and you see it on the practice field in the way that they coach each other, and that was true. It's so markedly different this spring versus a year ago. So those are some moments just dating all the way back to spring ball. But then, during the course of play, it doesn't go right. The energy and look from those leaders and being able to regroup their guys on the sidelines has been massive, and I'm really proud of the guys that are on our leadership council and the guys that take ownership of our locker room.
Mike, then Ben.
Josh, is there any change in Jalen McCullough's status for Saturday?
No, you guys have heard me say earlier that he's been cleared on the campus side of it. Whoever looks at that has decided that based on the evidence that they cleared him. He's been with us here the last week, and so we'll see.
Josh, those associated with the program outside the facility have been talking about this being a trap game because of what is next Saturday. Does that annoy you to hear it talked about as a trap game, and how do you feel like you all have handled this week in terms of preparation?
It doesn't matter how you phrase it. The only one that matters as a competitor is the next one, right? Everybody's talking about the last one. You're only as good as your next performance, being able to refocus, regroup, and be consistent, man. What's been great about this team, the reason that 1 week at a time up until this point we found a way to be the best team on the field is their preparation and the way they practice. And then at the end of the day, you got to go cut it loose on game day and play harder for longer than your opponent.
Vince.
Is there any comparison with any quarterbacks as you've played this year with the way Kentucky uses Will Levis in the run game?
Man, that'd be unfair of me to go back through all the teams that we've played. He is a major part of what they do on the offense side of the ball. He does a great job controlling it. You see him redirect protections. He's a big part of them, obviously, play action pass, boots, movements, and at times in the run game.
Wes.
It's that time. Will Cedric Tillman play on Saturday?
We were debating whether that was the first question or one of the last questions, so I appreciate it. I thought you just put out one of your quotes from previous weeks here at this point.
I'm working on it. I've got it ready to go.
I like it. I like the consistency. You know what I mean? Now we'll see where he's at when we get through tomorrow and on game day again. Cedric's going to be a part of that decision, and our medical staff doing what's best for him in the long term and short term.
Another question. Tim.
How important is it to get off to a fast start against Kentucky on Saturday?
It's important that you play well for 60 minutes. Would we love to get off to a fast start? Yeah, absolutely. But, you guys have seen games unfold differently, and you just got to keep playing. So would love to start fast, but we'll go play ball and play for 60 minutes.
One more for Jimmy.
Josh, how would you evaluate your special teams right now?
I think they continue to get better. You guys have seen we got a lot of young guys on there that have continued to grow throughout the course of the season. Coverage units have been really solid. Our return units continue to get better. Getting D back on the punt return side of it's been big. We've created some field position with that unit. Expect us to continue to get better on all of those units with as many young guys as we're playing.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, guys.